When I look in the mirror, there's a man that I see who's been searching a lifetime for a way to be free, never knowing the darkness that was following me like a mutating virus, one that I couldn't see. And I breathed you in, and I fell again. Now I see the end. Here I am now, I transcend. I want you to know I see who you are, and I'm letting go. You were everywhere, in my everything. I don't need you now. I was looking for answers that were there all the time, but I just couldn't see them. In my heart I was blind. I believed in your story, now I know it wasn't true. And I know who I am now, and I know what to do. And I'm breathing in, and I start again. I want you to know I see who you are, and I'm letting go. You were everywhere, in my everything. I don't need you now. Just turn around and go. I can't do this anymore. I want you to know I see who you are, and I'm letting go. You were everywhere, in my everything. I don't need you now. I want you to know that I let you go. I want you to know I see who you are, and I'm letting go. You were everywhere, in my everything. I don't need you now. Oh, I want you to know I see who you are, and I'm letting go. You were everywhere, in my everything. I don't need you now. I want you to know that I'm letting go.
Hello, welcome everybody. Just wanted to give a quick shout out to Mr. Tim Steinrich. He wrote that song. It's an original song. Actually, he ended up writing it after doing the process with our Chief Divinity Officer, Mr. Don Smith. and it actually became an award-winning song. And so shout out to you, Tim, if you're watching this. I know we haven't met, but that song is just super deep. If you didn't catch it, he's not talking about a girl. He's actually talking about the ego. So super deep song. And so I just want to welcome you all to our 5th daily launch call with Incomation. I just want to get a little idea of where you guys are coming from. So let's and if just type in the chat where you're coming from, city, state, country, whatever. Love to kind of get an idea of where we're at right now. I made a joke yesterday about we're in every country except Antarctica, but coming soon. It's not a joke. So you got Texas, Utah, Charleston, South Carolina, Tampa, Arizona. Oh my God, this is going faster than I can read. Ontario, Corpus Christi, Atlanta, Missouri. We got America in the house. Shout out America. Cool. And you got people coming in, Will, so make sure that you got them coming in. All right, we got Viva la Mexico. Shout out Mexico. Where are you guys coming in from? Just type it in the chat. Ottawa. Okay, cool. Looks like we're alrighty. Boise, Idaho, second home, the Philippines. Shout out Philippines. We're actually out here in Davao City, Philippines. Absolutely beautiful. If you haven't been here, I highly suggest you come out. Just one of the most unique places I've ever visited. So definitely come out if you can. And there will be a lot of chances, as you'll hear here later in the call, from our CEO, Mr. Jamie Devine. So we got Boise, Idaho. Okay, where else? We have about, I think, how many people do we have on Zoom? We have about 40 people on Zoom. We got TikTok going, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. Awesome. And if you're watching this from any of the other ones, just go ahead, and also we would love to figure out where our audiences are tuning in from. Montreal, Canada. It's probably super cold there right now, I bet. California, Ontario. Awesome. Cool. So we'll get started here in just a minute. San Diego. Shout out to you, Darian. I see you on the call. All righty. New Mexico. Awesome. So I'll get started. If you don't know who I am, my name is Sam Hidja. I'm the Chief Marketing Officer, if you want to put a label on it. I'm also doing leadership development here at Incomation. And I'm just here to open the call up and kind of give you guys a little bit of framework of what we're going to be experiencing today. So we're actually in Incomation 2.0. Some of you are pioneers from the first launch. We went through a little bit of a hiccup in the first launch. I wasn't a part of that, actually. I was watching from the sidelines. And it was very interesting. I've been a part of a lot of different companies. I've basically been in this kind of space for the last decade. Seen so many different companies come and go. Been a part of so many companies that came and went as well. So I have a lot of experience in this industry. When it comes to the financial aspect, I've made millions of dollars in this industry. I've had people offer me, crazy deals to be a part of their deal. And that's how I knew it wasn't the deal. So, it's interesting because as I was observing from the outside in and looking at Incomation, one of the things that really drew me towards this mission was the leader, right? Because they say the speed of the leader, the speed of the pack. And also something that I observed is the culture, it comes from the person at the top. It stems from top down, right? And so where that person is operating from sets the tone for everything else. And so a lot of you have probably experienced some interesting things in the first launch And we're super transparent here at Incomation. We don't hide anything. We're open books. So, there was a couple of hiccups with the prop firms, which we're no longer using. So if you're going to ask about prop firms today, that's for another call. Okay. We saw some interesting things happen where they stopped paying out, and a lot of you probably have experienced that. And so, in the first launch, there was really no reason why the responsibility would have fell on the company. But our CEO, Mr. Jamie Devine, he has a heart of gold, and he really wants to take care of his people, and he puts his people first. And that's actually what drew me to this mission. It's not just about the financial aspect, but also just really giving people the freedom. And obviously finances play a role in that, but we also there's a big emphasis on truly being free from within, from the things that are holding you back, from the self-sabotage and survival mode. And so, Jamie actually ended up making an executive decision and took, a big chunk of money and actually invested millions of dollars to take care of all of those people that were a part of the first launch. And so that kind of really drew me towards him and the mission, because I've never seen anybody do something like that. I've, at the end of the day, like a lot of these companies, they don't want to take responsibility, and it's all about the quick dollar for them. And if they don't need to, they don't. And so that really, really drew me to him and to what we're creating here as a community, because this is not a business. This isn't a business. Sure, there's business to be done, but we're a community and we really put our people first. And so, without a further ado, I really just want to introduce our CEO, Mr. Jamie Devine. So take it away, brother.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. And also shout out to Tim. A beautiful song that he wrote when he said goodbye to his ego, going through our mentor Don's process, which is really the foundation to this entire system. So even though we are a financial company on the surface, that's not where we're making the decisions from. Because as Sam was talking about in our first run being screwed over by prop firms, if we were making financial decisions, it would have been really easy. That wasn't us. We just provided a service to connect people. Sorry. But because we're coming from a different place, it was a very simple decision. We'll do whatever it takes to move every being that is part of this community forward with us, because the mission's a lot larger than money. And so what? It's a few $1 million, take care of everyone. So if this is your first time tuning in, welcome. If you've been on for the last few days, you probably noticed that every single call is a lot different than the last. So we're not here to share a script and give you an intellectual download. It's really coming from the heart, and that's why it's different every time that we speak to you guys. And I see some of you familiar faces that have been on for the last 5 days in a row, which is absolutely awesome. And so we're going to, of course, break down, for those of you that are new, what we have to offer. But really, this is a completely new system that really intends to make all of the traditional systems that all of us have grown up in obsolete. And it's really from the top down. It's really, I mean, we're talking, we have physical land. We're looking at to have our own sovereign island for the community, to actually be our own country, to have our own government, to have our own banking system, to have our own solutions to increase your financials so that you're, yes, free financially, but deeper than that, you actually experience who you truly are without the ego, as Tim beautifully sang about opening this call, and that I've personally experienced working with our mentor Don. And so all of you have an opportunity, not just to step into a lucrative financial opportunity that is there, because again, we're doing things from a different place with integrity. I've been in the financial realm for 7+ years, specifically in Forex and crypto. And I can't give you one company name that was operating from a place without the ego. Meaning something happened along the way for the system to blow up. Because it really just was looking at the bottom line. How do we get finances from people? And every single time it would last a few months and blow up in everyone's face. And so that's the only reason we're here building this safe haven for everyone, because where can you actually go that your money is not only protected, but growing? You could put it into a traditional bank that maybe, if you're lucky, gets you 1% a year in a savings account these days. Meanwhile, if you actually dig deep on what the banking system is with fractional reserve banking and the whole central bank system, and understand that they're just printing that shit out of thin air, they're just adding zeros to a computer screen. And here we are attached to it with our own individual egos, thinking it's tied directly to our worth. That's why everyone calls it net worth. And you, in the ego, believe that your worth is direct. Please mute, Cliff. That your net worth is in direct proportion to how worthy you are as a being on earth. And so I've experienced true freedom, and there's a few people in our system that have experienced true freedom, and that's why we're coming from a place beyond the illusionary financial realm. But as it stands, most of us are still in an economic situation where, you know, it does take finances to go move and go places and buy things and eat and house and all that stuff. So we're really creating this bridge for everyone to be free. And I was just on a call with one of our liquidity providers the last couple of days. So we're putting together our own brokerage. And they told me straight up that 100% of their clients are able to manipulate the MetaTrader platform, MT4, MT5, and have it do whatever they want it to do. And I could name names here of people that we know that on the surface, it's a trading system, but there's no real trading happening, and they're just running off with everyone's money. And it's just a license to literally steal. And I'm sure if you've been around the financial realm, you've experienced it in one way or another. And so we had to go on this crazy journey to create all these pieces, like our own banking system, and then our own brokerage tied to our own liquidity providers. So we know what's actually happening. And then we had to find the actual traders that had institutional systems with years and years of track data, not just, oh, here's 2 weeks of my trading, or here's a demo account that looks live. I mean, I could tell you horror story after horror story in the prop firm industry. The only reason we found out that the prop firms were doing what they were doing is because we were on our way becoming a prop firm. So we found out what actually happens behind the scenes because we're having those conversations. I had one of the biggest prop firm conglomerates say, hey, you know, it would be a great idea to give you a $10 million prop account, and we do a press release where it's the largest prop account that's ever been given away. Yeah, I know it's just for marketing. Of course, it's a demo account. Of course, it's fake money, but let's do that. Oh, yeah, that sounds great, guys. Let's just lie to the entire world that you gave away $10 million for us to trade. That sounds like a great idea. And if we were making financial decisions, that was a great financial idea, wasn't it? How much publicity would we get from that? How many clients would we bring on because of that? Not to mention creating our own prop firm. You get to be in bed with the broker. The broker will put live server on the prop firm account so that it shows real money. And any trader in the world knows if they see a real live server, that's real money. What they don't know is what the brokers are doing behind the scenes. And like I said, only found that out because we were becoming all these things to make sure what they were saying on the front end was actually happening on the back end. And come to find out real quick, it wasn't. And I'm not surprised, but it's taken a whole lot of work to put all of this together, guys. In the beginning, I just wanted a few prop accounts for myself, my mentor, Don, so that we just had the passive income. We never had to think about money again. We could just focus on what truly matters. And then, of course, one by one, people wanted these prop accounts because it looked like a great, lucrative system on the front end. And many of you are still reaching out, asking us to acquire you these prop firm accounts. I couldn't even tell you how many people we've said, no, they're a complete scam. Not to mention closing down the idea of becoming a prop firm ourselves. I'm telling you, it's guaranteed money to set up a prop firm. You can reach out to 8Cap, the broker, licensed in Australia. Sounds great. Guess what they'll do? They'll recommend you to go over to Prop Trade Tech, who's the technology partner to put together your prop firm. All you got to do, white label it, slap your name on it, $10,000 fee, and then you pay 8Cap $5 an account, $5 an account to charge $1,000 to show a $200,000 real live server to give away to traders. And then guess what you get to do? Let's say someone actually does have successful trading on that. Oh shit. I gave you a demo account and you got successful trading, and now you're expecting me to give you a payout on fake money? What am I going to do? Well, if I'm in bed with the broker, I can just manipulate the spreads and the slippage so that your trades that would have been real winning trades on the live market are losing trades on our in-house operating system. And then you lose your money, all the fees you sent to the firm, and we get to walk away. I had another consultant in the prop firm industry say, yeah, if someone has multiple successful months, all you got to do is reject their payout and tell them that you're going to refund their challenge fee, because 99% of the people that come through the door are not going to have successful trading, and you'll be able to legally steal that $1,000. They didn't use the word steal, but I knew what they were talking about. So you need to wake up. This is actually what's happening. There's parasites all over in the business world that are literally just wanting to suck your financial energy for their own benefit. That's the definition of the ego. They don't know who they truly are. They don't know we're all connected and we're one. They think they're independent, and if they steal from you, they gain. They don't understand that. They're going to have many lifetimes. They're going to have a cycle coming back to this human form just to get over that. And I don't mean to press up against anyone's belief systems. I'm just telling you what I know to be true from my own experiences. And this isn't the typical opening for a presentation of a company to invest your money, I'm sure. and I don't intend it to be. So if you don't know by now, you do need to be careful out there because most people just want to take your money the fastest, easiest way they can. And so we've done our absolute best to find the very few key people, usually the people that have gone through our process with our mentor, Don, because they experienced this egoless state. So they are reminded who they truly are, and they don't have all that greed and selfish, life-sucking energy to take advantage of people. So that's who we've built around us. As we know, the ego has an army. So that's why we built our army. And so to break it down for you, we have a Forex fund. Okay, now foreign exchange, if you're not that familiar, is a multi-trillion-dollar per day industry. We're talking all the countries in the world, all the biggest corporations are sending money in different currencies. I just did a transfer before this call, and most people don't see it, but sending it from Canada to Philippines, they don't show it to you because it just says, oh, you get a FX fee, blah, 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 all this coded language that the average person wouldn't understand. But being in Forex, I understand to do the math. And we're talking, it was a $20,000 transfer, and it was $1,000 that exchanged in the Forex just on the front end bank. Then it gets to the second bank and they do their Forex fee. So that's currency exchange. It's happening every millisecond of the day, and by far the largest financial industry on the planet. Central banks are sending it all over to the different countries. That's what's happening. Now, because of technology, you can get on your phone, you can have an app, and if you know what you're doing, and you don't have brokers that are manipulating behind the scenes, then you can earn a profit on every single trade. And now AI has been taking over that entire industry. Any institutional level trading system is now an algorithm. And so they're literally just digitally creating profit 24 hours a day, 5 days a week on this Forex, foreign exchange currency market. Meanwhile, all of us have been convinced to go sell our time for 10, 20, 40, 50, $100 an hour, whatever it is. Give all your energy to some faceless, life-sucking corporation that doesn't care about you. If you passed away tomorrow, your position would be filled next week. They probably wouldn't even show up to your funeral, would they? And I don't mean to be so depressing about it, but I do mean to tell you the absolute truth, to wake you the fuck up of what's happening in these financial realms. So we've had to just naturally create a system that we know everything that's happening behind the scenes. We had to put together our own banking system. We had to put together our own brokerage system and get our own liquidity providers. Not because we want to build a brokerage and build a bank. No, it was the only way for us to protect ourselves from these fucking parasites. So before I get too passionate, I'm going to bring Josh on to break down the numbers for you. He's been in the industry for years. He's seen it all from the retail side to the institutional side. He's been only working with rich people for the last 4 or 5 years. And we've been friends, close friends from Canada, both of us, for almost a decade now. And guess what? He went through the egoless process. So he's one of the few I can actually trust. He's not just here to fuck us over. We created this crypto fund that Josh in 2021 did 8,000% on 8,600% on his own personal portfolio 1 year. That's 80 times your money. Okay? 80 times your money. The kid was 22 years old He put in well, it was about 30 or 40, he can clarify, 30, $40,000. He became a millionaire. Imagine that. A kid on his laptop, he's down in Colombia now, turned 30 grand into a million. How many hours did you sell your time for to make $1 million in your career, in your life? If you have even done that yet. And here he is, just sending some money to a couple different projects in this whole crypto market that most of us were advertised to be a scam, even though now the biggest trillion-dollar funds just yesterday now approved it to go public and actually sell it to all their clients. Funny how that works. I'm sure we're going to see the media promoting Bitcoin now as not a scam. But imagine that 22-year-old kid, right? Turns 30 grand into a million. So just as an example on Josh's integrity, we had one of our members in our community, a pioneer, financially successful, reaches out to Josh directly to try to go behind our back and get a better deal directly with Josh and not go through the Incomation system. And Josh could have easily took the guy's $100,000, put it in his crypto fund. Is my sound still okay? Someone said sound went out. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me still.
You're good.
Thank you. So the guy wants to send that $100,000 into the crypto fund and, get a better deal, get a little discount, do it without Incomation, do it direct with Josh. What does Josh do? Because he is not wrapped up in the ecosystem, only looking for his own selfish gain, immediately messaged me and said, hey, we got this guy. And we're putting him in the Incomation fund. No question about it. In fact, Josh only opened up the crypto fund outside of his close friends and family to our community because I begged him to. And he actually has a heart for people. He could have easily just stuck to his high net worth clients and a few friends and family, his own money in the crypto fund, and that's it. Be done with it. Doesn't have to be on these calls talking to the public. So, Josh, if you want to, by the way, I love you guys, and that's why I'm sharing you the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help me. It's not always easy to do that, right? I would love to just come on here and say everything's sunshine and rainbows and let's all make millions of dollars together and give you the scripted presentation every time, but that's not how we're rolling. So anyway, Josh, if you could share the whole background of Yako, the institutional system, how that came together, why you trust him, what he's different. I mean, we just had a guy before this call that I sent you. He literally sent us 2 weeks of trading data, and he claims that he manages billions of dollars in trading, and he claims that he gets 20% per month. And Josh has 101 literally questions to vet someone, and usually by question 3, 4, he knows if they're full of shit. So, we ran it by Josh, and it's just funny how these people, and they get away with it. But anyway, Josh, before I go too off the rails, if you want to bring it back, share Yako, and then we'll tell them more about the crypto fund too. But go ahead, bud.
For sure. Beautiful introduction. I think that one takes the award for the decade. So yeah, as always, Jamie, thank you for having me here, and to all the new faces, welcome to what we're doing. I'll give you guys a brief background of myself for the individuals who are new on this call. And then Jamie got me fired up. I might even share some of my own horror stories of the industry and what's actually going on in the industry. But to get right into things, so myself, I have been a full-time entrepreneur. I have been a full-time entrepreneur now for over a decade, and I first got my first exposure into the financial industry around 2016, 2017. And at that moment in time, that was a crypto bull run that I first got exposure into. Prior to getting involved in the financial industry, I was just doing different various health and wellness products, etc. But when I got exposure to the financial industry, I seen how lucrative it was and simply how much money there was to be made in this industry. But of course, without having the experience or knowledge of the industry, I didn't know of the leeches that were actually in this industry and what we actually have to go through to build our way to the top. So my first exposure and journey of what we built in this industry was in the retail space. And I was in the retail space from 2017 until 2019. And I was actually partnered on various projects with Jamie during this time frame. And we literally flew all around the world building various businesses. We built teams and organizations of thousands and thousands of people, specifically in Asia. And then where my boiling point was in the financial industry, or sorry, in the retail industry, and where I simply just had to step away was one, we would build these massive businesses of thousands of people, but the leadership and the CEOs, the corporate team, they would always have their own hidden agenda behind the scene, and that would simply just cause the company to collapse overnight. And or the other problem was that we were presented these wonderful, amazing products and opportunities, and then we'd get involved in them, testing them with our own money. Guess what? A month, 2 months later, that product we were promised and presented was an utmost lie, and it simply just didn't work. So I had enough of chasing my tail in circles in the retail industry, spending my time and my money building these businesses just for these greedy corporate monsters to collapse everything overnight. And that would put our business on the line and everything would go up in flames overnight. So I just had enough of chasing my tail in circles, trying to work with these monsters. So that's when in 2019, with the connections and relationships I built in the retail industry, I built relationships with top level fund managers, various hedge funds, different fund managers. And that's when I made the full transition into the institutional world and space. So that's been my home since 2019, about the last 3-4 years. And for the institutional world, it's very, very different than the retail world. So the main factor and transition is that we went from dealing with clients of a deposit size of $500, $1,000, to the minimum ticket size being $250,000. So about 6-7 months ago, Jamie reached out to me looking for real legit trading strategies because of all the BS that Jamie and Incomation went through in the prop firm. He wanted to transition his company into actually something legit. So that's why he reached out to me for various institutional trading strategies, etc. And of course, I was 110% open to the idea of coming back into the retail space and bringing these strategies to the retail space because that's where I started. But most importantly, that's where my heart is, because on the institutional side of things, at the end of the day, we're just helping rich people get richer, where in the retail space, we can actually bring real change with real products and opportunity. So the main problem that we first occurred when putting this together, Jamie and myself, how to bridge the two opportunities, retail to institution, is that, like I said, the minimum deposit size for our fund managers to even trade the account is $250K. So we had to figure out a solution of how we're able to bridge the gap to drastically reduce the deposit size from $250K to $500. So the solution that we came up with for that is we have created and set up a system. So all this is being housed in what is called a PAM account. So a PAM account is a pooled amount of clients' money. So everybody's money is pooled into the exact same account. Doesn't matter if the deposit size is $500 or $1 million, it's all going into one account. So why this is important to highlight is because we have put the base in that account of 250K, which allows our strategies to successfully trade on that amount. And because we now have that base there, we're able to accept deposit sizes for that specific account on the institutional strategy of $500. So that's the beginning of my background and how we put all this together to actually bridge the two, institutional to retail. So now I will dive into who's actually managing the money, how these strategies came about, etc. So our main fund manager, his name is Yako. And Yako, he has over 25 years of experience in the trading world. It's basically what he spent his whole life doing. And his biggest success in the trading world is prior to leaving the hedge fund banking world, he was working at the Cargo Fund in Canada. And he was responsible for managing a book value of over $40 billion with a B. So he was the lead trader for this entire book of assets. But Yako, he just simply got tired of the traditional finance and corporate world and wanted to leave that to do his own thing. So about 6 years ago, he left that world to start his own fund. And when he left the hedge fund world, he brought his entire team with him. So this team, it consists of around 15 different individuals, and this includes fund managers, traders, analysis, most importantly, mathematicians and engineers. So because he brought the team of mathematicians and engineers over, this allowed him to build his entire system in-house. So to touch a little bit on that, in the retail space, there's thousands and thousands of different robots, AI platforms out there and being marketed. But I can almost guarantee you 99.9% of these algorithms are coded by a kid in his mom's basement, which probably costed him $200 to do, or he did it on ChatGPT. And what people don't understand about the actual real trading systems in the institutional world is, one, they cost millions and millions of dollars to build. Yako's system, for instance, it costed him over $20 million to build. And when real technology like this comes onto the marketplace, what happens is your big banks or your big hedge funds simply come in and buy this technology up for millions and millions and millions of dollars, and they use it for their private in-house trading systems. So that's why, again, in the retail market, finding a real profitable system like this is literally like trying to find a needle in the haystack, because like I said, the big guys just come in and buy it up, and then everything we as the retail people have access to is just all complete garbage and BS products. So diving more into Yako's system and strategy. So this, if you're familiar with trading, you'll know this statement. So this specific strategy, it is not a martingale strategy. It is not a cost averaging strategy. Both those two specific strategies are the main strategies in the retail space. And at the end of the day, you have just as much odds going to the casino and winning money, just like using these two type of strategies. So Yako's strategy and this strategy you guys all have access to, it is what is called a trend following strategy. So it's actually going with the trend. If we're in an uptrend, he's simply going to buy, not sell against the market. And the main three currency pairs that we are trading are the Euro, USD, USD JPY, and lastly, the Euro JPY. And why I highlight those three currency pairs is because they are the most liquid in the entire world, which drastically reduces our risk because they're not some crazy volatile exotic currency pair like the South African dollar, etc. And then for statistics of Yako's strategy, most importantly, we have 7 years of tracked, verified data. And in this 7 years of tracked data, we have never had a losing year. We do have losing months, but they always come back and recover for a positive year. And then for that 7 years of tracked data, we are averaging 65% a year, which is roughly 5% a month. And to achieve that 60% a year plus the 7 years of tracked data, the max drawdown that we've ever gone into was 14%, and that occurred in 2018. And then the average drawdown of this strategy typically stays under 10%. But because this is a retail call and retail opportunity, we know you guys are looking for an even greater ROI than the 65% mentioned. So the PAM that we're talking about right now, what we're going to do is we're going to double up that strategy, which means that we're going to be targeting 100 to 120% a year, average roughly 10% a month. And then to achieve those returns, our drawdown will typically stay under 20%, which is still fairly conservative. So that's the statistics of the strategy and what we're going to be aiming for ROI on top of the risk side of things. And then most importantly, investor transparency. So as Jamie mentioned prior to introducing me, the amount of scams and BS opportunities in this space, we wanted to build this model as transparent as we possibly could. So the first point that we wanted to do is we didn't want to be some company where you send your funds into thin air with a guaranteed 2% a day, and then a month, 2 months later, those funds are completely gone and you never see them again. So the first point we wanted to do is make sure that you guys always have 100% full control of your money. And how we've set that up is, again, with the PAM account. So with the PAM account, you guys are the only ones able to deposit and withdraw from that account. We can never ever touch your money or have access to your funds. All we can do on that account is simply trade and trade only. And then the next point is that you guys, we didn't want to hide anything behind closed doors trading wise, or what's going on the portfolio. So we've also set it up where you guys are able to view the trades on the portfolio live 24/7, and we'll be doing this through various third-party tracking programs. You guys, like I said, will literally be able to see everything we're doing live 24/7. And then lastly, we wanted to be very, very fair of how we're profiting as a company and not digging into the client's pocketbook. So for us and profit share wise, 1, we charge 0 management fees. 2, we charge 0 upfront fees. And lastly, we charge 0 hidden fees. So we are 100% profit share based model as a company. That's how we get paid. And we aligned it this way because at the end of the day, this is simply aligned with the best interest of our clients. So in the grand scheme of things, what this means is that if we are not profiting every single month, we also do not get paid, just like the client, which again aligns us to be in the best vision with the client and in the best interest with them. And then lastly, on that topic, we also are operating on a high water mark, which means that, let's say this month you have some money in the PAM and we put a loss on the board of, call it 3%. We will not start charging profit share again until that loss of 3% is fully recovered, and then we'll start charging again once that loss is recovered. So that is a brief overview of my background, Yako, our fund manager, his team, and our strategies. And then what I can close off with for the FX fund is really what Jamie was diving into, and really how long it took us and myself to put this strategy together. Because like I said, finding real legit strategies in this industry is really a needle in the haystack. And the FX industry and the trading world is so advanced, but that's where the retail get caught up, is they see these great, wonderful returns, but at the end of the day, they're just simply uneducated and don't even know what they're investing into. And another topic on that is that the FX space, the only reason that retail people have access to the FX space is because when they made it legal for the retail guys to get involved, the whales, again, the institution, banks, hedge funds, they simply made it legal for the retail to get involved because the retail are the whales' exit liquidity. So that's the thing of the whales. And then to find this strategy, so not to get too off topic here, but to actually find this strategy, my partners and we have an interview vetting process of traders. And like Jamie said, it's hundreds of questions that we go through to fully vet and verify these traders. But this was about 2019 when we were going all day long calls with traders every single day. And just to find Yako, no word of a lie, we went through over 500 traders just to find one profitable strategy. And then as well, we're always testing new strategies with our own money. And the things that we have seen behind the scenes are absolutely disgusting and repulsive, from various PAMs promoting themselves to going into 94% drawdown, injecting a fake $1 million of liquidity just to save the account, yet and behold, they're in bed with the broker. Or there's the other stories of PAM accounts like Trader Ted was a massive one last year. And this was Trader Ted, Trader Domain. They raised over $1 billion in 1 year. And the trader also owned the broker. And all of a sudden, the PAM account of $1 billion blew. And guess who got that $1 billion? The trader and the owner of the broker. But yeah, I could give thousands and thousands of stories, of horror stories, but I'll leave it there and I'll leave it short. Back to you, Jamie.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much, Josh. Appreciate it. To simplify, to wrap up what we've said so far, the retail world is a license to steal your money. I could give you the step-by-step how to create your own brokerage, unregulated overseas, for just a few $1,000s. You white label a tech platform, you get a bullshit MetaTrader platform going who doesn't care what you do as long as you have a bank account and an entity, and it's a license to do whatever the fuck you want to the trading environment, to blow it as much as you want, to steal everyone's money. So if you're in the retail world, you're going up against some major giants that are just there to steal your money. That's how they profit. And then, as Josh said, the institutional world, they've just made it inaccessible to all of us. The only reason we've created all this is because we were so fed up and we were looking for solutions for ourselves. We're just like one of you guys. I mean, shit, up until last year, I was an affiliate. I was just a partner to other systems. So the only reason we launched all of this was because finally we started finding some solutions, and we just want to gift it to everyone because we know how painful it is going through all this bullshit. And if you haven't gotten to the level that we've gotten at to really see the behind the scenes, the backdoor deals and conversations, you have not a chance in hell to go up against these guys. So we're the first ones that we know of that we were able to figure out a way to bring a legitimate institutional system to the average retail person. Because the institutions, when they have this technology, I mean, $20 million might sound like a lot to you in the example of Yakos, but that's literally like, think about this. That's literally a system, a license to print money. Literally, it's a license to make money. So why would these billion-dollar hedge funds, trillion-dollar hedge funds, multimillionaire accredited investors, why would they want to share that with you? Especially when a lot of you are employees for these guys' companies. Why would they want you to be financially free so you wouldn't rely on them for a paycheck? So I challenge anyone, find something legitimate in the retail space. As Josh said, we're constantly vetting people. But good chance if you're here listening to this call, you haven't found it yet. Or you'd be on some island counting your money, wouldn't you? And that's literally what we could do at this point. Josh and I could just trade our own money. We found the solutions, and we could just, I mean, we found an island in the Philippines, 50 acres for $200,000. Do you think we really need to be here every night telling you guys all of this for free, how to do it? No, of course not. We're actually giving access to everyone for free. We're not even charging right now. So, like, please let that sink in so you know where we're coming from. Trust me, it'd be a whole lot easier to just let our money trade in the systems and forget about all this. Forget about these 1,000 support questions of how do I log into my account? And these hundreds of people we have to help this entire thing. So you need to know that we're doing this for you guys, which I understand is hard to believe if you've been in the world for a minute, because who else is out there to actually help you? Who is going to spend a few hours every single night? It's midnight in the Philippines. Who's going to spend a few hours with you telling you exactly how the entire back end of all these systems operates just so that you can benefit without them trying to suck you dry? I mean, do you know how many millions of dollars we've said no to just on the prop firm thing of people wanting prop firm accounts, and how we saw exactly how you set it up? It's a casino, worse than a casino, because you actually put all the odds on the broker side. You literally have zero chance if you don't own the broker and the trading systems. You have zero chance. So please let that sink in when we're saying giving you access to these multi-million-dollar actually legitimate systems for a $500 deposit. You can get in on it, and we're all partners. You know, we're doing a 50-50 split with you. 25% goes to the trader. 25% goes to our system to cover all of this shit to be able to help you guys. I mean, I don't know how else, how much more transparent we could make it. But we're being as real as possible here. Josh, how nice would it be just to build the Divinity Island out here and not fucking take a call ever again? So, wow. Guess what name I just showed up on the screen, Josh? Michael Manuel. Yeah, did you let him in? Anyway, so that's the Forex system. Thanks for breaking it down, Josh. The crypto fund, going back to Josh's story in 2021, one of the very few people that just geeked out about it and figured out how to actually get ridiculous returns. I mean, 8,000+% is unbelievable. And he could just do it for himself this run. I mean, it takes a lot of energy to help other people with this stuff. Yesterday, we were on an onboarding call after our live stream for another hour. And we were literally showing people, Josh was there with his partner. Okay, these guys run multi-million-dollar funds and have plenty of their own money and know what to do with it in Forex and crypto. And they're on an hour-long support call last night at 2 a.m. Philippine time, showing people how to buy crypto for the very first time that they haven't even done for almost 10 years now, like 6-7 years. They're showing you how to download the app and put your credit card in and purchase a little Ethereum so that you could send your $500 to the crypto fund. You think they need to fucking do that? Of course not. So please, just know where we're coming from, because it's wild, wild west out there. You guys are going to get screwed if you don't know what you're doing. We've been there. We've done that. We got a whole wardrobe of t-shirts from that experience. So, Josh, just tell them how easy we made it for them to get involved. I know you just want to do it for friends and family at the beginning. And I was like, yeah, well, I'm your friend, but also like, let's help the whole community. So here we are doing that. If you want to break down how that works for them, especially if they've, never gotten involved with crypto before. Great time for everyone. Now they actually believe it's legitimate because all the multi-trillion-dollar companies say that it's okay now. Gave everyone permission. Yeah, take it away, man.
So again, as mentioned at the start of this call, 2016, 2017 was when I first got introduced to the cryptocurrency world. And I simply just seen projects, Bitcoin obviously, and it really opened my mind up to the technology and use case that is actually going to offer the world. So that's when I got super intrigued, started studying like a madman, and I started planting my seeds into various projects between 2017 and 2019. And for me, Bitcoin was simply just too expensive to get the ROI that I was looking to achieve. So that's when I took a deep dive into the altcoin world, which, if you don't know, altcoins simply just there's thousands and thousands of projects, altcoins in the space. And for me, I didn't want to invest in any BS coins, meme coins, pump and dump coins. I actually wanted to invest in coins that offered a real use case utility and projects to the world. So my top 2 coins that I invested in between 2017 and 2019 was one, VET VeChain. My average buy price for that was half a penny. And then in 2021, I sold that for an average sell price of 20 cents to 25 cents. And then my second top project was Matic Polygon. Average buy price for that was 2 cents. And then my average sell price in 2021 for that project was between $2 and $2.50. And the total ROI that I did on my portfolio during that time across the board was 8,000%. And then obviously crypto went into a big bear market the last couple of years, and I simply just was on the sidelines during that time, mainly in the FX space. But last year, specifically, all the signs started to appear that a new bull run was forming this year and into 2025. And that's when my partners and I, at the end of last year, decided to put a crypto fund together. And at that moment in time, it was for friends and family only. But Jamie, of course, reached out to me when he seen us promoting it on our different platforms, and he wanted to get specifically his community, you guys, involved. So outside of our friends and family, this is the only open door to the public through Incomation. And why we are specifically seeing and targeting a bull run this year is for many different factors and reasons. So the first one is obviously the ETF news that just occurred and got approved, which is absolutely insane and is going to open the doors up to billions and billions of dollars of institutional money, and also just investors who don't want to go through the crazy experience of crypto exchanges, etc. They can now just buy it through these massive funds and firms. So that's the first bullish thesis point. The second bullish thesis point is in April of this year, not confirmed on the exact date yet, but it's going to happen in April. And what is going to happen is something called Bitcoin halving. So every 4 years, Bitcoin goes through a cycle, which is called Bitcoin halving. And what this means is that the circulating supply of Bitcoin gets reduced by half. And historically, if you look back, again, this happens every 4 years since the inception of Bitcoin. And historically, 1 year after Bitcoin halving, it's always at an all-time high. So if history repeats, that means that April of this year's halving, which would mean April of 2025, will be the next all-time high. And then the third thesis point is that our team is predicting they're going to start to lower interest rates this year in America and different Western nations, which means that money is going to drastically flow into every single asset class in the world, from the stock market, real estate market, and most specifically the crypto market. And then lastly, the last bullish thesis point is November of this year is the US presidential elections. And every presidential elections, they absolutely love to pump the markets to make the current sitting president look like a hero. So those are our 4 bullish thesis points. That's why we're predicting a bull run that's going to take place this year and maybe into 2025. And then what we're actually doing with the fund, if you choose to invest in the crypto fund. So most importantly, we do zero leverage trading. So it's impossible to get liquidated if the markets go against us. And 2, again, like I mentioned at the beginning, we're only investing in real use case projects. We're not interested in your hype meme coins that pump and then just completely dump. So our 3 top niches that we're interested in and have a massive active portfolio currently is the gaming sector built on the blockchain, is AI sector, also built on the blockchain. And thirdly, companies and projects that offer real use case utility to the public marketplace. So that is our 3 projects that we're deeply involved with, and that's what we will be investing into. And then unlike the FX fund, where we're charging profit share monthly, for the crypto fund, we're only going to charge 1 profit share. And that 1 profit share will be charged when we're 110% out of every single position and back into all USDT. So that also means that the hold time for this specific opportunity, again, it's not liquid like the FX fund. We're targeting when the client's capital will also be back released and out of all positions, will be Q4 of this year, anywhere from November of this year till May of 2025. So to sum that up again, one profit share closed at the end of it all, and it's a roughly, you could call it a 12 to 18 month lockup period. And the reason that we're not making it a monthly profit share or allowing the capital to be liquid at all time for clients to withdraw is our thesis point for the crypto markets is that, yeah, sure, we could trade in the markets. But if you compare trading specifically again for the crypto markets compared to just hodling like we're doing, hodlers in these markets always make more money than traders. So that's why we're specifically doing that and operating this way. And then lastly, if all goes according to plan for our bullish thesis points and we actually do enter a bull market here, we are targeting a target ROI for this specific portfolio of a minimum of 1,000%. And then lastly, this fund is a very limited opportunity. So we will be closing it. We're watching the markets closely, but when the markets get too overheated, we will be closing the fund. And right now we're still in the green for it to be open, but with the way the markets move, the fund could be closed next week, or it could be closed 2 months from now. So we're just watching things closely, but just to highlight that as well, because it will not be open forever. This is only a limited opportunity specifically for the crypto fund.
Awesome. Thank you, Josh, for breaking that down. So if you didn't catch it, just 2 projects that Josh had to 2021 and held. Keeping in mind, there's multiple moving parts that many people don't consider. Number one is obviously picking the right projects. Number 2 is the timing of when you get involved with the project. And number 3, most importantly, is when you exit the project. Because as Josh mentioned earlier, the retail people, for the most part, are getting used as liquidity from the whales, the people that know what they're doing, that have teams and teams of researchers and mathematicians and analysts, and they're on the ball, they're on the pulse. They get inside information. A lot of them are co-founders of projects. Like they know what's going on, and you don't. And so that's where Josh and his team come in for the crypto fund. And as he mentioned, limited time. But the 2 projects that he picked up in 2021, we're talking a 50x, a 50 times on your money with VeChain. I remember when he was downloading the VeChain information, I didn't understand a word he was saying, but I thought, okay, I'm getting some VeChain. He's excited. And then over 100x on Matic. And again, just so important for him to know what to get involved with, when to get involved in it, and when to get the heck out and not be used as liquidity, because anyone smart got out of crypto at the end of that bull run. For the last 2 years hasn't moved much. So huge opportunity there. We've made it really simple. All you have to do, there's an agreement inside the membership portal. So we're doing individual contracts with every single client. We sign it and send it back to you. So we've done it as transparent and legitimate as we could. It's going to take a lot of work to individually do that with all of you. But as Josh said, it's not going to be open for too much longer. Just depends how much the bull run ramps up, and it's looking pretty crazy right now. So I encourage you, well, at this point, just get on the inside of our membership portal. Whoever invited you here has a partner link, and all you need is their partner link to go to our main site. And we've waived the membership fee right now. Like, we had it at $5,000. We put it down 50% to $2,500, and we've opened it up for absolutely nothing right now. So you have a full free year inside of everything and all of our developments. and just realize that everything that we've put together for you guys is what we put together for ourselves first. Like, this is where our actual personal money is with Yako in the Forex fund and with Josh's team in the crypto fund. Because as we touched on many times, there's very few places that you can actually put your money that the system isn't full of ego and they're just trying to take advantage of you. So obviously do what you choose, but we're just telling you what we're doing, and we're opening it up as much as we can to everyone so that you actually have a chance to be involved in these things that no other institutions are opening up these types of systems for you, for the average person. So we'll keep doing that. The other major piece, like huge cherry on top, which for anyone that has met Don, it's not the cherry, it's the whole cake. And the cherry is, okay, yeah, we got some financial freedom, sweet. But anyone that's had any type of financial success, I hope, if they are aware enough and conscious enough, they realize that wasn't the whole answer. That wasn't the pure freedom that they were looking for. And that's where Don comes in. He's traditionally, again, only worked with elite. You could not get access to this guy in his program. When I met him, he had multiple entrepreneurs in Vancouver that I met him through that paid $1 million for a one-on-one with this guy. $1 million, which of course was chump change to these guys. A lot of them were making $1 million a day. But many people on this call haven't even made $1 million in their entire career yet. And he was doing groups. I asked him, like, I can't afford, like, come on, like, what else? What are my other options here? And he was doing groups at $125,000 each. So after I went through his process, April 2020, we got close, and I said, Don, man, like, this needs to go out to the entire world. And of course, Don, coming from a place of no ego, was open to the idea of helping everyone. And so he came down to Mexico with me, and we had a studio, and every week we were doing his process for anyone that would show up on this Zoom call and even in person in the studio by donation. So they could literally come for free. And I can't even tell you the amount of people that just didn't even show up or didn't even value it at all. It was so frustrating. It's like, do you guys understand? Because you can't even put a price on it. There's not one thing in the entire traditional personal development, religion, I don't care if you're doing shaman plant medicines in the Amazon River, like whatever, none of it releases the ego and brings you to this state of awareness and consciousness like Don's program. I've tried it all, and I have multiple friends, multi-million-dollar entrepreneurs, had all the money, tried it all, and Don's was the only thing that worked. And so over this period of time with Don, it's almost 4 years that I've been with him, like neck and neck. We traveled the world together. We're out here in Philippines now. He's 4 hours away on his mountain hideaway, which, you know, his mission at this point is live in his state of absolute pure consciousness and bliss and raise the entire planet's consciousness to enlightenment. And he's doing that single-handedly. But of course, in my true nature, wanting to share it with everyone, I've had him agree to once a month come into the city, come to this resort, and pack as many people as we can in this room to give them access to this process. And not only that, we have video guys that have completely recorded the entire process, and we've put it in the membership portal that I'm telling you is free to access right now. That literally you can go through this program, take you about an hour and a half, and erase the toxic patterns, programs, ego energy that you've been living with for your entire life. And almost everyone you know has been as well. And you're not going to believe me or know that to be true until you experience it yourself. And I can sell you as much as I want here, but it's literally free. Like, just go do it. We've opened it up. It's there right now. You can sign up at the link and go through the process and know what we're saying to be true for yourself and have your own experience. So I encourage you to do that. I'm going to bring Sam up here to quickly share I know quickly is hard, but share his experience that he's gone through with Don, because he's one of those guys that, successful in the ego realm, right? All the financial success you could ask for, the entrepreneur world, the personal development, tried it all. Showed up to Don with all of his fucking shit, right? And now it's gone. It was gone in literally under 2 hours or something. So I'll let him share from his perspective. And then we'll hand it over to Josh, because as I mentioned earlier in the call, he's one of those few people that we're really closely partnered with that has also gone through the program. And that's why we can trust him at the highest level. And that's why he's transparent and not out to take advantage of you. So go ahead, Sam.
Oh man. As much as the financial piece is exciting, I mean, I get so much more excited, elated about the process with Don. And I think it has a lot to do with what it's done for me personally, and I've gone through, he mentioned a couple of the different, mental based, intellectual based processes. Like, I've gone through so many transformational workshops. You've probably heard of Landmark, SLS. I've done like the plant medicine, I've done the energy work, I've done the breath work, I've done all of the different things. I've invested literally hundreds of thousands of dollars into myself, into personal development. It's so funny, like we have to become someone more when we are all that we are. And I want you to just think about that, right? So it's like, you don't have to become anyone else. You just have to return to who you truly are. And that's literally what this process has done for me personally. And, and it happened in under 2 hours. And I'll share a little bit about myself, and maybe some of you will relate, some may not. But I went through a lot of trauma as a child, right? My parents came from Jordan, and essentially they came to the States with $1,000. And I went through so much abuse, near-death experiences, and just the most craziest things. I've really experienced a lot of challenge in my life. And even though I was still able to, quote unquote, make a name for myself in the industry, which is so funny, because even though after making millions of dollars in several different industries, whether it was network marketing, e-commerce, Forex, whatever industry, I still found a way to self-sabotage, whether it was financially, whether it was with the relationships, health. It didn't really matter, because the core of where I was operating from was still there. And through that 2 hour, it was actually under 2 hour session, I was able to get to the very root of what was causing that. Because this is the thing, and you've probably heard this, right? It's like the subconscious mind, it's controlling over 97%. I would say more than like 99%, because if you're on this call right now, I want you to think about this. Your nervous system is wiring, your digestive system is going, you're listening to this, you're viewing this. There are literally thousands, if not millions, of processes that are happening without you even trying. So there's absolutely no way that you have control of those things. And so the results that you have in your life are really based off of your subconscious programs, patterns. And this program essentially goes to the very root, the very first moment that you ever experience a quote unquote trauma. And trauma doesn't necessarily have to mean you went through physical abuse. It can literally just be your parents maybe in another room and you pick that up, or even generational. And this process literally in an instant, right? It might take you 2 hours to get to that point, but in an instant is able to clear it, and you're actually able to step into your most authentic version of who you are. And that's why you're on this call and you hear and you feel the energy that comes from Jamie, from Nicholas, from myself. It's different than anything that you've ever experienced because of the place of where we're operating from. We're no longer operating from this level of scarcity. We understand that there is an abundance for all, and you're not going to find any other group that actually cares about your success, not just on a financial level, but true freedom from within. You can make millions of dollars and still be depressed. I know so many entrepreneurs that have made all the money, but now they're in a mansion living by themselves, drinking their nights away. Right? So we truly care about you guys, and that's why we waived the $5,000 membership fee for free. And I know a lot of you probably are like, okay, this is way too good to be true. This is just BS. And I'm just gonna say it's your ego that wants to keep you in survival mode, because it knows that if it goes through this process, it's gonna die. So take advantage of this and don't allow your old patterns to keep on keeping you in this pattern of self-sabotage and survival, right? It's not just about you, right? It's very selfish if you are thinking that way, because it's not just it's your family, your future family, your past ancestors that are literally depending on you to change the course of history. So don't allow this opportunities to slip. Take advantage right now, because it's not going to be for very long. Either you do it now, you do it in 2 weeks to 2 months, and I mean by then it's going to be $5,000, $10,000. We don't know. Or you never do it and you get stuck in this cycle, and you're going to be kicking yourself in the ass. Like, why didn't I do that? So anyways, I just wanted to turn it back over to Jamie. I love hearing Nicholas's story as well. So thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you next time.
Oh, thank you, Sam. Amazing. I've not only witnessed hundreds of people, I've also heard just the most miraculous stories from Don. And one of the things that stands out after Sam was talking to you is Don was asked how he does what he does. And he said, well, as typical Don fashion, let me tell you a story. And he said, when Michelangelo was asked how he made this beautiful statue of David, world famous, how did you do that, Michelangelo? Michelangelo said, it was simple. I got a block of marble, brought it to the quarry, whatever he called it, and I began chipping away at all of the things that weren't David. And Don said, that's what I do. I'm not giving you anything. You already have it. I'm just simply chipping away at all the things that you think are you that aren't you, aka the ego. And as Sam beautifully put it, the ego is not going to let go without a major fight. I can see the comments already. Oh, if Don could really help us, why is he charging money? Even though it's actually free right now. And so, okay, now you don't have an excuse of the money. Now what? Oh, you don't have an hour and a half? You've been on this call for an hour and a half. You could have already done it. So what the fuck else is your excuse? And I say that with all the love, guys. I'm not here to be like, arrogant, and I'm in this place that we're better than you or anything. It's like, guys, we found it. Here it is. Please, we're begging you to experience it for yourself. Don't take our word for it. So just get the link from the people that invited you. Okay, they have a partner link, goes to our website. You sign up for free right now, and then inside you'll get your logins and your email. You log in to the membership portal, and under consciousness currency, you'll find the Forex fund, step by step how to deposit if you want to do that. The crypto fund, step by step how to do that. And the I Am Divinity process, which is Don's program. All you got to do, put some headphones on, get rid of the distractions, sit there for an hour and a half, experience it for yourself. And we welcome you. If you want to come out to Philippines, we're doing it live in person. You can be eye to eye with this guy. You know, and just to put it in perspective, when I said, yeah, he charged $1 million more than once, 125,000 in groups. I'll give you one example. He was working with the co-CEO of Research in Motion, multi-billion-dollar corporation. They invented the BlackBerry. Co-CEO's name, Jim Balsley. You can read the book about Jim called Losing the Signal. Refers to Don in there. He was with them for 7 years. I'll give you one example of how he helped Jim. Jim was in a $1 billion lawsuit, $1.2 billion to be exact. He was in the boardroom. The lawyers had already put it all together, about to sign off for this $1.2 billion lawsuit. Jim says, guys, I need to take a quick break. Jim leaves the meeting, calls Don. Don, this is the situation. I got to be back in the meeting in 8 minutes. Don had already worked with Jim previously, of course. So he said, okay, Jim, you ready? Boom. 6 minutes later, cleans it up. Jim goes back to the meeting. He says, guys, we're not doing it that way. We're doing it this way. That 1 6-minute call saved Jim and the company $650 million. You think the 125 grand in a group setting each, you think the value's there? And I could go on and on. I mean, they had the team of executives. One of the CFO was having a hard time with 4 different deals, all adding up to $250 million. Months and months trying to get these deals done. They all have a group event in Whistler in Canada. That weekend, the CFO secured all 4 deals in the excess of $250 million. You think the 125 grand was justifiable? Like, seriously. And we're giving it to you for free. Man, I don't know what else we can do. So the only excuses you're going to come up with right now, because we've taken them all away, is, which, by the way, the ego will create infinite reasons to stop you. Infinite. It uses your own creativity. You gave it the keys to the vehicle, when you were unconscious, just a child. You let it drive the ship. You let it drive the car. And the ego is like a 2-year-old. So imagine a 2-year-old driving your vehicle and you constantly crashing and wondering why you keep crashing. Maybe it's because the 2-year-old is in charge. So I hope that, I know it got through to one of you. As long as one of you get inside that membership portal and take the process, I mean, I'm happy. Anyway, love you all. By the way, welcome to come to Philippines anytime you want. We do it once a month in person. It's recorded. It's live streamed. Everyone's going to have an opportunity to work with Don live, whether it's Zoom, whether it's in person here in the Philippines, or whether you just go through the recording of the last group that we did. So Josh had to jump off the call for another meeting. He's going to be back on for the onboarding. Sam mentioned Nicholas. I don't see a Nicholas on the front page here, but are you here? Because that'd be awesome to hear your experience with Don as well. Are you there? I'm going to put you on the spot, bud. Did you see him there, or did you just assume he was on? Maybe you just assumed. Okay, probably not here. All good. So let's open for questions, and then we're going to wrap this up because we got to be on the onboarding call in 25 minutes. So for those of you that need some hand holding to get inside the membership portal, or to deposit into the Forex or crypto, or to find Don's process in the portal, we're here for you. We'll be on that call for another 30 minutes, longer if it takes. And we jump on that in 25 minutes. So let's yes, and the onboarding calls have been recorded. Every day we've been doing them. Don't know how much longer we're going to do them live because it's very repetitive for us, of course, but we're making it as easy as possible for you guys right now. So go ahead and raise your hand on the Zoom. So just down in the bottom there, if you want to come on live and ask a question. So I see Sandra has raised her hand. Sandra, do you have a question? You can just unmute yourself.
Hi, Jamie. I
Hi
just
there.
want to say
I love your
thank
purple.
you. Oh, thank you. My pink. Actually, it's pink like you got.
Oh yeah, fuchsia, beautiful. Team uniform.
Thank you. I'm getting ready. I'm off work today, so I finally got a chance to actually listen to the whole call without being at work. So I'm gonna do Don's consciousness call. Can't wait to do that. I just want to first give all praise and honor to God for just you guys coming into our lives and trying to bless us. I really just appreciate you guys' integrity. I've been in the Forex market for about 7 years and have not been consistently profitable. So I'm definitely stand with you because I trust you. I thank you for pouring your heart out to us. All of you guys are just incredible. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, after saying all of that, what was my question? So I was gonna ask you about the PAM versus the crypto. Is one better than the other, or can you join both of them? Are they both 500 to join?
Okay, well, thank you for the love, Sandra. Really appreciate that. And yeah,
Oh,
let me
you're
break it down.
welcome. You're
There's a couple.
welcome.
There's a couple differences. So
Okay.
number one, the Forex fund will continue to be open. It's something that for the unforeseeable future we'll have access to, and it has a long 7 years of history with that strategy and Yako's team. So unless he tells us that he's retiring, and selling off his system or something, we're going to keep that one open. So that's the first thing. Second thing is the returns, the expectation of those. So as Josh went over, the Forex fund, we can expect somewhere in the ballpark of 100%, just based on the past data and doubling up his strategy for the year. So 100% for the year. The crypto fund, on the other hand, and by the way, yes, $500 minimum on both of them. The
Okay.
crypto fund is it could be closed any day. Just Josh has a few different points that he's looking for in the market of where it gets to. So it's a very limited opportunity to get involved in that one. But the returns are we're expecting to be much larger. So he's shooting for minimum 1,000%. So that's 10 times more than we can expect from the Forex. But again, it's a short window of time because it's just during the bull run of crypto. And then usually if history repeats itself, 2 to 3 years, crypto will be pretty quiet after that. So whereas Forex will keep on running as far as we know. So those are the
So
two
I
things. Yes, you can get involved in both, and they're both 500 minimum.
okay, so the crypto one, he's going to hold for now. But the Forex fund, we're going to be paid out once a month, in the event we have profits or should be profitable.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the other great point. Thanks, I forgot to mention. So you have full access to withdrawal, deposit, any amount, anytime. every month with the Forex fund. With the crypto, where Josh's team, just because of the holding of the assets, he's looking at a 12-month minimum that they're just not going to open it up for withdrawal at all. And then it will just be a one-time sell-off, and everyone will get the returns and their funds back at that time. So you can expect about a 12-month window for the crypto fund. If things go really strong and the bull run continues to move, it may be moved to 24 months, but I'm sure there'll be a payout, and then you can kind of, get involved again if you want to, type thing. So, but expect minimum 12 months on that, and then monthly for the Forex. You can go in and out anytime.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Jamie. I appreciate you and your team. Thanks a
Appreciate
million.
it. Great to see you.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay. We have Nua. Go ahead, Nua.
My man, Jamie, man, you bring the heat every single time, brother. Every time I think, okay, I've heard everything, I get on your call and I'm like, gosh damn it, I'm heading to the airport right now and I'm heading to the Philippines, I'm like, my goodness. And look at this. Oh, okay, you can't see it. It's freezing over here. I'm Salt Lake City, Utah, and it's like 15 degrees. I'm wearing this. I want to wear that beautiful pink shirt that you have, sitting in the beautiful Philippines, feeling good and meditating and putting your feet in that sand in the water. Brother, I feel the energy through the calls. So to me, I'm like, I'm all about the energy. If I feel this type of energy through a freaking Zoom call, imagine when I'm physically in front of you and Don and the whole Incomation, Sam and the Incomation team over there. I just want to, you're the average of the 5 people you hang out with. I want one of those people to be Incomation. I want everyone to be Incomation because I've been watching you for over a year now, and I just stood on the sidelines. I watched the ups, the downs. I watched you go through all the shit show, that the prop firms, and then I kept saying, "Oh, see, good thing I didn't join. Good thing I didn't join." But then the turn of everything happened, like you said, for Q4 of last year. I saw that, number one, you could have disappeared. You could have just picked up and said, well, shit, I'm done. These guys did me wrong. I can't pay anything back. You could have easily left. And then I would have been like, see, okay, it's good I didn't surrender. But the more and more I watched you stick around, I mean, what more belief do I need? The belief is there now. Why? Because I witnessed the transformation. For me, I've been in the crypto space for 3 years, and you and I know, and a lot of people on this call that are in the crypto space, we've witnessed the rug pulls, the people that are just full of it. And Q4 of 2023 was a bloodbath. I mean, it was just rug pull after rug pull. And the only thing I want to do, I just want to help people. I vibe on the same wavelength as you, as Don. And I'm like, why is it so hard to like make it and be wealthy and then help others? Why is that so hard? There's got to be a way. And I never gave up. In this space, I've made a lot of money. I've lost a lot of money. And to me, it's like, the more I hear you guys, and I just sat on the sidelines, I just talked. I know I'm kind of preaching right now, but I have to share the energy because I don't want you guys to think that there's not people that are watching you and that are believing in what you guys are believing in, and that and I'm manifesting everything. And it's just, if it feels this good and I'm 3,000 miles away from you, I cannot wait to be 2 feet in front of you, give you a big ass hug, and don a big ass hug wearing my pink shirt. And I've never wore pink, but I see you guys wearing fucking pink, and I'm like, well, fuck. I can't do the same thing I did last year. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. I'm willing to submit to my ego. I'm willing to submit to whatever it is that you guys are doing so that I can make that move and change and evolve. Because if I'm not evolving, then what the fuck am I doing? Incomation is helping me to evolve. And I'm barely, I'm sitting there begging on every Zoom call before this, like, come on, Jamie, just make it free. Shit, all this shit show, and then you're like, fuck it. It's free for now, guys. Get in. But I'm like, oh damn, well, what the hell yeah, I'm in. I went and signed up that night and I hit you up on WhatsApp and like, hey, it's not free. It's still charging me. You're like, oh shit, hold on, give it like 24 hours. Like I was bugging your ass. Like, because I see the value in you, in Don, in even though you went through all that shit show with the prof, I knew that you weren't going to give up. And that's the number one thing I think that we should get out here is that you could have easily left and been gone and made money and this and that. But it just goes to show your character. You're not about the money. Like, I don't know how much. And that's when I got so excited. I just mass text to just my closest friends and family. They're like, no, what the hell is this? And I'm like, motherfucker, just sign up. I'll explain shit later. Sorry, I'm cursing. Sorry for those that a little excited. I'm gonna calm down a little bit. But I was so excited. You had me so damn excited. I was like, listen here, MFers, sign up. I'll explain this shit later. And because my relationship with them, they're like, damn, okay, you must have found the golden goose. They just signed up and they said, we're ready for our Zoom call. So I have to do a Zoom call with these mother effers like I think today or tomorrow, because I don't want to do it over and over. I'm like, listen, get your shit together. Let's do it one day, one night. I'll do everything. I've got 15 pages of notes right now of Incomation of Jamie. I feel like I know his blood type and shit. Like, like I know everything about this company is as far as I can go. And if I have to bring them, and then I'll bring them to the call, it's just, I don't know. You know what? When you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, you start looking for things that Don is the sauce, man. Like seeing him do that for you, I'm like, listen, I believe in God. Whatever the hell Don has, he has some kind of like extraterrestrial, whatever it is. Like, what else do I need to believe in to change my life, right? What else is there? I'm willing to make that sacrifice to get even if it's my last penny, to get my ass over to the Philippines, even if I have to sleep on the beach. It's worth it for me because I see the change. I feel the energy. Sorry, guys, I'm taking a long time, but I just have to give you your flowers. I have to thank God that I didn't give up because when all your shit went down, I could have listened to the naysayers and all the people spreading FUD about Incomation about Jamie. And I said, nah, man, there's some about that guy that I'm still holding on. And I'm so glad I did because everyone kind of wrote you off when shit hit the fan. I'm like, listen, guys, if he left and disappeared, then yes, you're right. But your motherfuckers are wrong. He's still around. He's still talking to his community. He's still believing. And guess what? Every time he comes on the call, he's like this. He's so damn fucking happy. I'm like, who the hell do you go through all that shit and still has a motherfucking smile on his face? Most people are like about ready to jump off a 30, story building. So I'm like, listen, guys, I may not be the smartest tool in the toolbox, but I surround myself with motherfucking smart ass people. And I need to surround myself with Don the man, Jamie the man, Mr. Josh Willamette, Yako, even though I don't know what he looks like, freaking Sam, and I love his Palestinian, inshallah, brother, that Palestinian story, your story, brother. Oh, man, like I almost want to cry when you tell your story because my parents are migrated from the islands of Tonga. 47 people on this probably don't even know where the island of Tonga is. It's in the South Pacific, small little island. He migrated over here to Utah, to America, for me to have a better life. I've been searching for Incomation my whole fucking life. Now I have it. It's not what I have. It's what are you going to do about it? Like Jamie keeps telling and Josh, like, guys, I'm giving it to you free. Like, if you don't know the value, then I don't know what the fuck to give you guys. Like, what? Bitch slap you guys to fucking sign up? Sorry. Let me calm down. But, and that's, I just feel the energy. It's positive. Yeah, I'm going to stop swearing. Sorry, guys. Nothing but love for you, Jamie. Nothing but love for you, Josh. I look forward to everything. I did have a question after I went on this whole rant thing, but sorry. My one question is, okay, I hope you're not recording this. Like, just cross that all out because I don't want to. There's too much cuss words. My kids are gonna get on me, and I'm gonna have to donate to the swear jar. But anyways, um, so my question is on the Forex fund. What's our expected ROI on the Forex fund, like monthly or whatever? Sorry, I didn't mean to make you cry. I hope those were tears of joy, Jamie. Sorry, my bad.
My man. Crack it up, bro. Bro. First of all, dude, we've only had a couple interactions on these live streams and maybe a text or two, but I was just telling the boys, like, this guy has earned his way out here. So it just came to me. But if you're as serious as you're telling us about to come out to the Philippines, we're gonna cover your flight, dude. We're gonna cover your flight. We're gonna get you out here, get eye to eye with us and Dawn. And man, I'm super excited for you. So I'll leave that to you. You don't have to decide now, but we're sponsoring you to come out if you're ready. I'm super stoked.
Brother, you're gonna make me cry. You're a grown ass man crying this damn thing. It's too early to cry. It's 9:51 over here. Don't make me cry, Jamie. The whole purpose of this shit is to help others. I see my father struggle as a immigrant here to America, broken English. The people here weren't kind to him. So because of that, he never spoke our language to me. I didn't know how to speak my own language because I didn't know my father didn't want me to have broken English and be treated as such. So he sacrificed so I could have a better life. And that's all I wanted to do. Now he's getting old, signs of dementia. He lives in the Bay Area. All I wanted to do was take care of him and take on this. Sorry, man. Fuck, I'm crying. You have such a big heart, my brother. I wasn't telling you all this so I can get a free flight to a thing because it's worth it to me. Even if I could, scrape up my last, even I come there with nothing but my underwear, I was willing to because, at some point you have to believe in something. And because I've been watching you for over a year, I believe your guys' hearts. It's almost like the Lord has blessed me to not give up on something everyone told me, man, that's a scam. He's not. I'm like, nah, man. There's some energy about him that just, I'm not going to let go. I'm going to keep watching him from the sidelines. I've been watching you for 12 months and now I finally saw the truthfulness of you, evolving. And I'm like, man, I can't hold it in anymore. Whatever I got to sacrifice, I'm going to go. I thank you so much for that. Thank you. God bless you guys.
Bro, thank you for sharing your heart, man. I'm super excited to give you a big old bear hug. You better not let the ego convince you to not come out here because we're taking care of you. So yeah, just message me, dude. We'll figure out the details. But amazing, amazing. Speechless. Let's fucking do this. Let's do this. Yeah, really excited to have you guys out here. I see Josh down there. He's back on the call. And Josh, you better get out here too. You said in front of everyone that you're going to be here February. We ain't letting you back down out of that. All right. We got to jump on this onboarding call to show people how to link in. Yeah, it is pretty ridiculous at this point. It's like, just sharing all this with you so that you just have a glimpse of who you truly are, so that just for a second, there's just enough light that allows you to move out of that ego energy. Because, man, I mean, all of us talking today, we went our whole lives in it, and we didn't even know. How can you know? How can you know you're in it when it's all you've ever known? The only way you're going to have any fucking clue is when you get on the outside of it. You're like, holy shit, that was me? No, it wasn't. None of that bullshit was me. None of those stories were me. None of those experiences were me. None of the trauma was me. And we've attempted to put into words night after night, but there's absolutely no words for it until you experience it yourself. So I hope we've done our best absolute sales job to give you literally the most free program in the world, and I'm not talking financially. Man, okay, we got to jump on. We got 4 minutes here. Nothing else to say after you, Noah, man. That was classic. We got a couple more hands. Let's respect the other members here, and we'll wrap it up. But we'll just drop the onboarding call down in the bottom there. If you need some hand holding, we'll help you out. So Chucks, you're next, and Richard, we'll get to you last, but save the best for last. Chucks.
Thank you, Jamie, and good to see everybody on the screen. I came on to this call a little bit late, so you might have covered my questions that I want to ask, but nevertheless, since I came in late, I still have to ask the question, because whenever you wake up, that becomes your morning. Number one, the FX, I created the account following the instructions, but when it got to the point of making a deposit, it was declining my deposit. So I was wondering what the problem is with that. And I also want to know if actually we're still working with LQDFX, because the support had to reach out to me, and but they were talking about account verification, which I've sent them the documents for verification of account. But I remember in the video, I think there was something that says you don't really need the verification to be able to make your deposit. So that was why I attempted to make the deposit. That's number one. And meanwhile, I tried to follow the code that was sent to us, the kind of the master account. I think I chose that option too, and but it got declined. My second question is on the PAM. I just wanted to know if PAM is still open for deposits, because after watching some of the videos you made on the courses and all the rest of them, the kind of the transformation programs, I decided to do that also. So I got the forms, but I just wanted to know, because it seemed like it's a little bit late based on when it was published. So I just wanted to know if it is still active and open for deposit. So these are my two questions. Meanwhile, I appreciate you, I appreciate everybody. And it's very good to hear all of those stories that keeps inspiring us. And as you know, Noah just said, for the fact that you didn't run away when other people easily ran away, it builds a whole lot of confidence in us to really trust you more and more in what you are doing. As you noted, most of us lost a whole lot of money last year, but what can we do? But since you are here for us, we still have to be here for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that a lot. So we'll help you with the onboarding on the call that's starting. Just get the link that we'll just put in the chat. So we're starting that in 1 minute here after we get to the last question. So the PAM and the brokerage LQDFX is one and the same, and we'll just help whatever you got stuck on to move forward with that. But no problem, we got your back. We'll help you out. Richard, go ahead, Richard, and Yan, you're last. I see your hand there.
Hi, Jamie. Well, my questions and problems have to do with getting on board. So perhaps I could just, let my time go to this other person and wait for the next call and go over them at that time.
That's perfect, Richard. And the link is below. We'll start that in literally 60 seconds right after this question.
Okay, thanks.
Mhm. Okay, Yan, go ahead, your list.
Hey, Jamie. I'm gonna go fast then. First, thank you for taking the time to help us, the little guys, and making those calls daily. Appreciate the commitment and the dedication. It's give us a lot of hope. Now, quickly, concerning the PAM account, the one-time profit share monthly will happen even if we do not withdraw money. Is that correct? You guys will take your share on a monthly basis, and then us on our end, we do the same or not. It's entirely up to us if we want to compound for a quarter or a whole year, for example. Is that correct?
Yeah, thanks for asking. Josh, I see you're you're back. If you can clarify that, we haven't as a community gotten to our first month of how that will work out. And it's the first time Yako's system has been put on a PAM as well. But Josh, do you have any more clarity for him there of how that's going to work out?
Yeah, so because you guys are always in full control of your capital, it's entirely up to you of when you want to withdraw, etc. And then when you guys do want to withdraw on Incommation's Telegram or Facebook or basically all the forms of communication, for us to allow individuals to withdraw, we have to be out of every single trade. So what that means is we're aiming for once a month, say the last week of every single month. We'll exit every trade we're in and then post in the various Incomation chats that withdrawal period is now open. But yeah, to answer your question, we will be charging profit share every single month because we're a business and we have to get paid. But for you guys, you can do it once a month, once a year, entirely up to you of how you want to withdraw.
Okay, so we have the ability to compound.
Correct. And that's
And
what I would actually, that's what I would recommend. But again, obviously, it's entirely up to you guys.
Understood. Now the target is 100% for the year. That's before profit sharing.
That's correct. That's correct.
Just to get my expectations and the targets
Correct.
right. We can also add money as we go. I can start 3 months after I started pouring money. I can add more funds if I want to. There's no limit. You guys keep track of everything. There will be monthly reports, I guess, or at least every time you take money out, for sure, right?
Correct. So yeah, you can add whenever you want. And our strategy with Yako, it's actually capable to trade another $250 million. So we have a ton of wiggle room before we maximize the strategy.
Oh, okay. So it can last for years.
Correct.
Okay. Now, okay, perfect. Thank you. Now going to the Forex fund. Have you started trading yet? Or are you waiting to have all the money in and close the doors
Yes,
for the funding?
the Forex fund with Yako, the public fund, will start trading on February 1st.
Okay, February 1st. That means that after that, we can't fund it anymore.
No. Are you talking crypto or Forex fund?
Crypto, sorry, crypto.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
No,
we've been
sorry.
trading the crypto funds since roughly October, November of last year, and the crypto fund is currently still open. And to be straight up for expectations of that, we will close the crypto fund. We have many technical reasons why, but to keep it short and simple, once Bitcoin breaks above and holds 52K, then the crypto fund will be closed. But until we get to that level, it's open.
Okay, so you're pretty much waiting for the alt season to start. And then it can last 1 year, it can last up to 2 years. I believe that 2 years is the maximum you want to hold the funds.
Correct. And Obviously, for full risk disclosure, I mean, it's the markets, and there is a chance we don't enter a bull market at all this year. So yeah, just to put that risk disclaimer out there. But if all goes according to plan to our bull market, correct, 12 to 18-month hold.
Okay. And it's a one-time thing, meaning that at the end of the bull run, let's say, all the positions will be sold. Everybody gets their money back. There's no more crypto fund after that. Is that
Correct.
correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Until the next bull run, I guess. Something like
That's
that.
correct. That's correct.
Okay. So the crypto fund is a one-time opportunity to make lots of money. It's a one-time shot, while the Forex account is more a more consistent and passive way to make money in the long term.
Correct. And actually, to be fully transparent on that as well, even with my own personal funds and what I'm going to be suggesting to my friends and family in the crypto fund is that when we cash out of the crypto fund, I'm going to suggest an investment to them like the pound, because that way their money can continue to work for them, compound, etc. But yeah, crypto is kind of an accelerated way to get money into the pound.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. So it's a way to fund the PAM at some point. Right?
Correct, correct. We're
Okay.
invested in both though, because like I said, I mean, it's the markets, the crypto bull run couldn't even happen. So you want the diversification of the pound as well, but that's just what I would suggest.
Of course, I understand. I think that's it. So if I follow the market as I do, as soon as we approach 50K, this is it for the crypto fund, pretty much.
Correct.
Uh, there's no, I can make multiple payments to the funds as we go before we get to the 52K mark.
Correct. Correct.
Okay. All right. That's it for me. Thank you very much. Thank you for your help.
All right. See you guys all on the onboarding call.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jan. Thanks, Josh, for clarifying. We're jumping on right now, a few minutes late, so thanks for your patience, but we will see you on onboarding if you need some hand holding. We'll be there for you.
Could you just put the link for the onboarding call again, please?
Yeah, Will, can you do that, please?
Thank you.
No problem. So we'll hold the line here for 30 more seconds so everyone can get the link. Just put in the chat. Thank you so much for being with us. As you can tell, if you've joined us for a few of these, ends up being different every time. So you can expect when we're leading with the heart, with authenticity, whatever flows, flows. And we'll be doing this call again, same time tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern, as well as the onboarding call 2 hours after that, which is 12 noon Eastern. We'll send out the recording. We are live streaming to multiple different platforms until the Zuckerbergs of the world shut us down. We got backups. So anyway, we'll see you guys tomorrow or on the onboarding call. Adios.